Hello, all my CEO babes. Oh my goodness, this 30-day challenge has been amazing, and I can't believe that it's, slowly coming to a close. But, I really just want to just go in, come here, just provide you with a bunch of value, and just be like, let's go, 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 right? Because I think taking action is the biggest lesson that you're ever going to learn, and it's the fastest way for you to learn and really just go about doing that. So, first and foremost, if you don't already have access to all the trainings, go ahead and sign up with this link, the bit.ly/clients on autopilot link. It's a great way for you to get access to these recordings, keep them forever, and more importantly, get the tools and workbooks that come with this, get all the trainings, the videos, and more importantly, you're going to get exclusive access to my top secret project that is actually unveiling so soon. I just can't believe I'm working so hard on this and it's coming out. And you're gonna get more details to come. But I'm super excited for this, and you're gonna get the exclusive invitation for us to really just work on, my top secret project together and just make this happen. And if you're loving this 30-day challenge, you're gonna love this top secret project, like hands down, no doubt. But without further ado, quick things first is that I really want you to know that if you're loving these videos, if you're loving these trainings, please don't keep me a secret. I would really love if you could just, take a screenshot of this, post it to your Instagram stories, and tag me at Tina Lopez Coaching. It's not a lot of work, but it really helps, the channel. It really helps, all the work that I put in. But more importantly, it's going to really help you primarily because, when you tag me on your Instagram stories, I can actually repost the content on my IG stories, and you would be able to, get exposure to my audience and really take advantage of it. So it's just a quick thing that I say pretty please for you to do, and it's really just helps everything. So without further ado, let's go ahead and have this conversation on how do we set sales calls that convert in our coaching business, right? Because you may have heard sales, like, oh, sales, like sales is hard, sales is pushy, sales is all this mumbo jumbo, if you call it. And the thing is that I really want you to know, which we're actually going to have a whole mindset video, a mindset training, sorry, that's going to be coming out, I believe, this week. And really, what it's important for you to know is that what you think of sales is actually going to manifest for you in sales. So, for example, if you tell yourself sales is hard, sales is pushy, sales is overwhelming, then you're not going to expect anything different than just that, right? You're going to expect for it to be overwhelming, hard, and pushy and all those things. And you actually may end up, doing those things that you don't want to do because your thought process has not changed. So when it comes to sales, it's important for you to change your thought process, to change your internal so you can change your external, right? So it's about the internal mindset in order to change the external outside environment, things of that nature. So this is really critical for you to know. I'm not going to go into super details information on this, but because we have another training that's coming out that's going to get more in depth in this, but it's really important for you to know that your mindset needs to be checked throughout this entire process. And I really want to let you know that I'm truly speaking from a place of credibility when it comes to, having sales calls that convert. Just so I don't speak out of my behind. I speak from experience. And, if the experience that I can share from you is I've, whether in my own business or in other businesses that I've worked under, I have closed deals from $3,000, $5,000, $10,000 to $15,000, and that number is actually going higher as we speak, right? So it's important for you to know that the information that you decide to take, you always want to take information from a place of an individual that actually knows what they're doing. Me, by being an online business coach, I just don't speak out of my behind and say, oh, I did this and actually never do it. Like, these are the things that I've experienced, and these are the things that I know work because I've done the work, right? So I'm here to safeguard it, but also to give you the shortcut that's going to help you. And this is what I know, and this is what I know to be true for me, and I hope that it's true for you. So let's kind of get into that. So let's really talk about the sales conversation. How does the flow go in the sales conversation? Well, the first thing that you need to know is you need to have rapport. And I know this is probably like, well, Tina, duh, like, doesn't that make sense? Like, of course you need to have rapport. Well, what does that mean? Well, rapport essentially means like, you hop on the call and you say, hey, it's Tina from, Tina Lopez Coaching. How are you doing? Right? Simply, how are you doing? And you're probably just like, well, that's kind of like what we're supposed to know, right? But I will tell you, honestly, like by me doing sales in the beginning when it was rough, and also me training individuals in sales, this is actually one of the most underplayed portions of the sales script, primarily because when you are preparing for your sales call, you may be under a certain level of pressure. You may have a little bit of nervousness that come up. You actually forget this one process. And it's really critical that this actually sets the tone for the entire conversation that you have, right? And the reason why rapport is so critical and it sets the tone for the entire conversation is because what do people buy from? They buy from individuals that they like, they know, and they trust, right? They know you to some extent because they had to consume your content, or they had to have some type of touch point with you before they got on a call. So they know you. There is some level of trust that comes for them to spend their time with you on that call. And then, they may like you to some extent because they hopped on the call with you. I don't know. But it's important for you to build rapport so that you could get to further build that know, like, and trust. And the way that we do it, that is, simply introducing ourselves. Say, hey, it's Tina from Tina Lopez Coaching. Just want to check in with you before our call. How are you doing today? Cool. Like, I'm so glad that you're doing amazing. I'm just curious, like, where are you calling in from? Oh, you're calling in from Florida. That's amazing. I'm from Chicago, and oh my goodness, it's so cold here. Like, you're so lucky. It's so warm up in Florida, right? So it's really about you having this structure and rapport, really just finding common ground with that individual to really just set this positive tone. And a great transition, the statement that I say once when we build a rapport, because you don't want that to be the entire conversation. Maybe you spend about 2 to 3 minutes building rapport. I just say, well, that's great, so and so. If it's okay with you, I'd love to go ahead and dive into our call. Does that sound good with you? Boom, there you go. Great. So the next thing that we want to go into is we want to go into the vision, right? The vision and pain, and there's a sequence as to, my methodology and why we attack vision and then pain first, right? So when we go into vision, it's really important for you to understand what is it exactly that they want, right? What is it that they absolutely want? Because oftentimes what happens is that, people go on a call because they want something. Either they want your time, either they want your knowledge. They need help in some area, right? For example, if you're starting your business, there's a reason you started your business. Maybe you wanted to leave your job. Maybe you want to finally do something that you love. Maybe you just have such a big heart where you're just like, I just really want to help people. Right? So what is it that your ideal client absolutely wants? For example, if a relationship coach were to talk to you, maybe that client that she or he is talking to may want the relationship their dreams. What does that look like? Right? So I would just genuinely ask the question, okay, so, I'm curious, like, what are some of your goals when it comes to, the industry that you're in? Awesome. Like, what does that look like to you by you accomplishing those goals? Right? Take it even a step further. How does it feel for you to know that you can accomplish those goals, that you have the opportunity to do this? Great, right? So it's really just getting deep with them, and it's almost like future pacing, so that they can actually step into their vision and know exactly what it is that they want. And then as you go from the vision, you want to transition to pain. And pain is not meant to make it salesy. It's not meant to make it pushy. It's not make it to be like high pressure sales tactics. That's not what I'm referring to. But when I say pain, I mean, what is the reason why are they on the call? Like, they had to go on the call for you for something. They need help in something, right? They're probably having some type of pain in some area where they feel like they needed to get on a call with you to figure out what it is that they need. Right? So you want to address that. You want to address that from a deep-seated place and say, hey, so and so, thank you so much for telling me this. I'm curious, like, what is the missing step for you? Like, what's getting in the way of you accomplishing that vision? Right? And then from there, you want to go and say, okay, so what does that look like of you not accomplishing this vision? What consequences had you had to suffer by you not accomplishing that vision? And what feelings happened by you not accomplishing that vision, right? You're getting deeper and deeper as to the pain. What is it really costing them? Because at the end of the day, when you are positioning your offer, there has to be some level of pain where they feel as though that if they stay stuck and they do nothing, they're still going to be in that pain. They're still not going to get the solution that they want. And the solution that you're providing is your offer, because this is the solution that's going to truly help them. And when it comes down to it, the reason why we talk about vision first and then pain first is because we want to understand exactly what is that they want truly from a deep-seated level, what's getting in the way of getting what they want. But really, one thing that I know is that people move faster away from pain than they do pleasure, right? So pain is going to move people to really just drive it home, right? What are two things that we know move people? Fear and love. Love moves people to do things that are, in its own place, and fear moves people to do things that it's in its own place as well, right? But pain is meant to lead that individual to come to a decision as to whether or not they choose to want to stay stuck, or whether they want to go towards their vision, right? People, I want you to know from a deep-seated place that you have to invest in your visions. People either invest in visions or they invest in excuses. And you can't do both at the same time, right? You can't accomplish your vision if you're continuing to invest in your excuses. That's just the honest truth. I don't know anyone who's successful, you can let me know, who invested in their vision and invested in excuses at the same time. It doesn't work, right? So it's really important for you to know that. So because we know that pain moves people, the next phase that we actually really want to go into is our offer, right? Because now we understand, okay, now they're in this pain. So I'm just going to ask you a quick question and say, so and so, on a scale of 1 to 10, how committed are you to actually getting out of this pain and going to X vision, right? And by you asking that question, this is really you gauging whether or not they're committed. Because some people don't want to change. And you may think to yourself, like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why are you on this call if you're not going to change? Or why are you on this call if you're not going to make a decision? People may have been conditioned for so long that, when you stay comfortable, when you're comfortable, it's easier for you to resist change, right? Because comfort feels good, comfort feels warm, comfort feels cozy. But when there's anything that, may move that comfort into some place that's uncomfortable, they may not want to change, right? So even though they're in pain, even though they've been in pain for so long, they're probably comfortable in pain. And I know that's probably like, well, why would they want to be comfortable in pain? But think about this for yourself. Have you had this habit or limiting beliefs that continue to persist, right? Have you had these experiences where you have had continually told yourself, I cannot invest in programs because it's not affordable, or I can't do this for myself? Have you told yourself these limiting beliefs over and over again, and then you wonder why you're stuck, right? And this is really a gentle way for me calling you out in the most loving way possible, because again, you can't invest in your vision if you continue to invest in your excuses. It just does not work, right? And because it does not work, it will not work for you. And so when we go into our offer and we ask that commitment level, this is really just straight up, asking them, are you going to continue to invest in your excuses or invest in your vision? This commitment scale is really critical to determining that information for you and for this individual, right? Now, as you transition to your offer, we created a lovely offer, your 3-core framework. Really what I recommend for you to do is just really go ahead, talk a little bit about it. I don't want you to talk the entire 5 minutes about it. I like to maybe spend 3 to 4 minutes on it. And really this is just you value mapping. And the way that I value map is, if they told me, for example, 2 to 3 times that they want freedom, then, I'm going to highlight portions of my offer that are going to demonstrate freedom. If they told you multiple times where they want generational wealth, I'm going to highlight points in my offer that's going to bring them generational wealth, that's going to help them, right? And this is you actively listening, because sales skills is not about you selling high pressure sales. It's about, communication. Salespeople, they're so great at communication. What they practice is not the ability to persuade or ability to sell. They practice the ability to communicate, right? And by you having the skill to communicate, I can guarantee you that this is the most number one skill that you ever have. And if you really think about it, sales is everywhere. Sales is from the moment when you go to the grocery store and you buy your groceries. It's from the moment that I convince, my spouse that I want to go to a certain restaurant. It's from the moment that I want an individual to take a certain action. It's really meant to be a communication skill. And quite literally, sales is everywhere. And once when you realize that, this is going to be a game changer for you. I cannot stress this enough. This truly will be game changer for you. So, rough overcap on what we discussed. It's important for you to know that rapport is very critical. It's important for you to know that with rapport, you are building that know and trust further. You're getting to know them on a deep level. The second thing is that you're building this vision, but you're also understanding what's getting in the way. What's the pain that's preventing them from moving forward, or what's actually getting in the way from what they want to accomplish. And then you have the offer, and you're really positioning this in a place where you are just genuinely saying, hey, is this something that you're interested in? This is something that's going to be able to help you know that financial freedom that you mentioned, also that generational wealth that you mentioned, all these things that you mentioned, right? So when it comes to doing this, it's really important that you practice your sales scripts, that you practice the way you sound, the way that you talk, how fast you talk, all these things go into play. And it's important for you to know that sales is truly about communication. When you learn how to communicate, you will learn how to be phenomenal in sales. And if anything, I can contribute this to just an amazing individual who helped me. His name is Stephen Pierce. He's an amazing individual, truly. And honestly, it's just important for you to know that sales is communication on a deep level. And just know from a deep-seated place that sales is service. Truly, people don't like to be sold to, they love to buy. And this is something that I really had to learn. But you think about this, and I'm going to go off a tangent here and then I'll wrap up, is that Apple doesn't apologize for you buying their product, right? So why would you apologize and feel as though that you feel pushy, salesy, all these things, when a multi-billion-dollar, trillion-dollar company like Apple does not apologize for them selling or giving something that you want to buy, right? So if Apple's not apologizing, there's no reason for you to apologize, right? So that's a quick wrap up on tangent that I had. If you love this video, go ahead and screenshot this, post this to IG stories. And if you have any questions, post them in the comments below. I love reading your questions. I love responding to them. I love really helping them. But more importantly, go ahead and sign up with this link at the bit.ly/clients on autopilot. We are really coming to a great start in this new year, and you guys get access to this 30-day training, all the information that's here to help you, all the information that's your toolbox, that is the value that's going to really propel your business in the next 30 days within your coaching business. So let's get started. Let's move forward. Let's crush 2021 and all the years that you're going to be in business. And really, let's just make this happen. I'm super excited for you. And let's just crush it. So anyways, I'll talk to you soon, and I'll see you later. Bye.